but how do you develop a promotional marketing campaign for your business?
It's a great question. I think it's one of the perfect questions to start anything, with. And the thing I always ask anybody that I'm talking to about working with our agency or anything like that, number one thing I always ask them is, what are you trying to accomplish? Like, what you tell me what success looks like to you. Like, what are you trying to accomplish with a marketing campaign or with your marketing efforts? Because everything is going to flow back from that. I mean, if you tell me that, you're a brand new business and you're just trying to get your name out there, and that's one thing. If you tell me you're an established business that sort of has been used to doing something and you sort of avoided the digital marketing thing and it's all been word of mouth, but now you realize that you need to get active in digital marketing, but you've been in business for 25 years, that's something different. So I always start any conversation with, tell me what you're trying to accomplish. And then the question of how to develop a promotional marketing campaign for your business all flows back from that. Once I understand what you're trying to accomplish, then that's going to tell me what elements of a promotional marketing campaign we would need to put together, because no two campaigns are exactly alike. I mean, it's not a cookie cutter type situation. You really want to understand the end goal and then work backwards from there. So what I would say to anybody about, and I might be taking the easy way out about this question because I'm not giving specifics, but I really can't give specifics until somebody tells me what exactly they're trying to accomplish. And that's the number one question you have to answer, because otherwise, how do you know if you're succeeding or not? If I asked you, if it was open-ended, it's like, well, how do I know if my marketing efforts are succeeding or not? Until you tell me what target you're trying, to hit, we aren't going to know whether we're hitting that target or not. It's just this open, like, we're just doing marketing. Well, if you don't tell me where we're trying to, there's the old adage of getting on the bus and driving. It's like, if you don't tell me where we're trying to drive the bus, how will we know whether we get there or not? We're just driving around town. We're not even going to any destination in specific, which doesn't mean that there can't be good things that happen along just doing random marketing things. But I really think it's imperative when somebody wants to do marketing to really sit down and say, what do I want? Where do I want to go with my marketing efforts? Number one. And number two, probably similar but slightly different question. What does success look like? If I were to tell you 6 months in the future, tell me what this campaign or these efforts we're doing, what does it look like if it's working for you? Like, is it a certain amount of leads? What does it look like? You define it. And then once you define that, we can work backwards from there to put together a campaign to reach that goal.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
we're looking for with that question, but I really don't know any way to answer the question unless we know what the end is, what the goal is.
No, I think that's absolutely true, especially having been on calls with you and having watched many of these past videos before I joined. That's kind of been one of the things that you've always mentioned, is that everybody is going to be different, whether it's, and especially too, if you're going into this new year and you've got the past 5 years, you've done maybe 10 or 12 different things, you can kind of pick and choose what's worked or what hasn't, what you've liked, and then you can kind of mold it. And it's no different, like we were talking before, of just starting something. If you're a new business or one that hasn't done marketing before in the past, you have to start somewhere. And chances are you might be completely wrong with whether it's who you're targeting, what your goals are. But the only way that you're going to know what works is by doing it, or kind of following through and trying to figure out, like, okay, and then you kind of get your own kind of congregated data of like, all right, this worked. We got, just talking to somebody this week, there's higher quality leads that we're getting at the moment, whether it's because they're more serious about whatever they're doing, and there's going to be tweaks along the way that get you to that point, that get you to somebody that's going to be much more serious. And so the only way that you can know how anything's going to work, because automatically out of the gates, you're not going to have a good idea of what's going to work. You might have other competitors or people that you've worked with in your field that kind of give you some feedback, but until you do it, there's no way that you're going to know what's going to work for your business, for the goals that you have, for within the budget that you're working with.
Well, and that's part of what, if you're doing it yourself, I 1,000% agree with you on what you're saying. if you're working with an agency, hopefully one of the things the agency brings to the table is if you tell them your goals and where you're trying to go, hopefully they can utilize their expertise to help start narrowing the options down. Doesn't mean they're going to have an exact formula, but if you tell me you're trying to go to a certain spot, I have a pretty good idea of where we're going to at least start the process. And I've also ruled certain things out. It's not like everything is on the table. We rule. And hopefully the expertise of the agency you're working with is going to allow you, because if, and that's only a matter of just a library of experiences of doing different things to know what works and what doesn't for different things. I mean, otherwise you can actually spend a lot of money trying a lot of things that don't work. And, you're going to learn something, hopefully, if you're tracking it. But it can be an expensive education, to get there.